Got a big idea but not sure where to start? Shopify makes it easy. From stunning templates to AI tools that write your product descriptions and boost your marketing, Shopify helps you build, sell, and grow fast. It's trusted by millions, from startups to brands like Gymshark and Mattel. And with 24/7 support, you're never on your own. Turn your dream into with Shopify. Start your $1 a month trial today at shopify.com/Dax. That's shopify.com/Dax.
Your morning blitz begins now.
Yeah, let's get after it on a Thursday. Going to be a high of 58 today. Could see some spotty rain off and on. I know we got rain overnight. Exactly what we needed. More water.
Yeah.
I'm kind of over it.
Me too.
I mean, we've had our fill. Can we just take a break? Let's see. Looking at the future forecast, it looks like we'll get a little bit of a break for the weekend, although it's going to be cloudy off and on. But all in all, not too bad in the mid-50s. How are you, Kelly, on a Thursday?
I could not go to sleep last night.
And here we go.
I could not sleep last night. And do you know who I blame? Karen frickin' Reed. And
who?
The woman who's on trial for killing her Boston cop boyfriend. Listen, I finished the docuseries last night in bed. All right? I could not sleep. All I kept thinking is just details of this case, and I'm like I'm neck deep into this thing.
Did you solve it?
I decided how I felt about it through my hours of deliberation in my own brain. Yeah, but other than that, I mean, we've got one more jury member to select today, and then the retrial of Karen Reed is off and running.
Did you leave after the documentary and do more online research, or did you just leave? Of course you did.
I needed to find out what has happened since the mistrial.
Right.
And that was last July.
Okay.
So I had a full, 9 months of stuff to catch up on.
And then you were just awake.
Oh, my gosh. I tell
Say
you.
hi to Judgito.
It's really interesting, though. That docuseries was wild. It really was from her perspective, though, so it was a little less, I don't know, down the middle than you would want in a docu. Little slanted.
In the storytelling.
Yeah. Yes, but it was good. Worth watching.
I almost didn't fall asleep, but did end up falling asleep because I don't know what happened to the sheet on the bed, but my feet weren't covered. But then every time I tried to kick, it was all on the right side of my body, and I kept trying to move it. And the second I moved, my foot come out, and I'm like, what is going? And then I felt a lot of extra material up around the neck area, and I was like, if I fall asleep, there's a chance I don't wake up because I'm going to roll over and just strangle myself with the sheet. So I really thought about getting out of bed, but I found that perfect spot, and I was like, no, if I get up now and fix this sheet, the head contorted to the pillow just perfectly.
Yeah,
I'm like, I'm not going to get back in this position, so just leave it be. There
are times, though, you do need to get up and remake a bed.
Yeah?
It's just that bad, yeah.
Absolutely. I can tell you one thing. I've mentioned this before, but I'm staying with a coworker until the family moves down and we go house hunting and all that stuff, but he's been nice enough, him and his wife have let me stay there. But one thing I think I'm going to invest for them is the sheet clips that hook underneath the mattress and holds the sheet.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if they bought a king-size sheet for a queen-size bed, but every night.
Like the fitted sheet?
Yes, the fitted sheet.
Yeah.
One of the corners is comes off in the middle of the night.
Oh, it's too small.
Yeah, no, it's too big.
Oh, it's
so
too
it's
big.
loose. Yeah, it's loose. It's not gripping the mattress like it should.
I see.
So one of the corners will come off, and then you're just rubbing against dry mattress.
That could be your parting gift to them when you guys buy a house.
Mattress, sheet clips.
Yeah.
Can I go back to you've actually gotten up in the middle of the night and made the bed?
Well, not in the middle of the night, but I mean, if I go to bed, and I go to bed several hours before Charlie does, and if I have managed to pull the sheet way too far on one end or something's bunched up, I'm like, this is not being fixed. I cannot wriggle around enough to fix this. It needs to be remade. Yeah.
That's determination.
Yeah.
Wow. How are you, Thick?
I'm good. I slept like a baby.
I slept pretty good last night. After getting over the fear of not, strangling myself, then it was a decent night of sleep. Let's go on a Thursday. Get started with the Blitz Morning Trivia. Thick, what you got for us?
Oh my gosh, today's question is a crazy story. $25 to you to waterbeds and stuff. You're the first one to text in the correct answer at 99700. All right, here's the question: the wife of a member of what rock band was shot by police and then arrested for attempted murder Tuesday in Los Angeles? The wife of a member of what rock band? Shot in the shoulder and then arrested on Tuesday. Tell us the rock band at 99-700. If you're first, we'll give you that gift card.
Let's get that answer for Blitz Morning Trivia. Vic, what you got?
All right, we asked the wife of a member of what rock band was shot and arrested in Los Angeles Tuesday, and the wife is Jillian Schreiner, wife of Weezer bass player Scott Schreiner.
That's a crazy story.
It is absolutely insane. It all started with a hit-and-run accident in L.A. 3 suspects got out of the car, ran from police on foot, and they ended up in this residential neighborhood. And when the cops got up to the back of a home where one of the suspects had been seen running, Jillian all of a sudden appears in the yard of her house next door holding a gun. Police told her to drop it. She refused numerous times. Then she pointed the gun at the police. Why? I have no idea, but they shot her in the shoulder. Thankfully, they didn't kill her. And then she ran back in the house. A half an hour goes by. She comes back out with her babysitter, their hands in the air, and surrendered. And so she got, treated at the hospital for gunshot wounds and then booked on attempted murder.
Oof.
Why would you come out of the house?
I don't know.
Why would you come out of the house with a gun?
Why would you point it at the
police officers?
That is the worst thing you can do. Weezer's supposed to perform at Coachella this weekend.
Hear me out. She's an author. Do you think maybe she's trying to sell books?
Oh, my gosh.
Get herself some attention?
Yeah.
She can move some inventory?
No, there's no such thing as bad publicity.
Oh.
So.
Oh, my. That's a little much, though.
Yeah.
I mean, now you're up for attempted murder?
We're about to get interesting for sure.
My gosh.
Yeah, you're not getting off scot-free.
No.
Not at all. So we'll see what happens.
Scott's like, don't you know I got a show this weekend?
Right.
What are you doing?
I'd be shocked if they perform.
I don't know, man.
I don't know. It might be the perfect time to get out of town.
Yeah, for sure. Here's a story for you. Is this genius or immoral? Because we all know since 2020, remote work has become a thing. Sure, a lot of offices are starting to do the back to the office thing, but there are still a lot of remote jobs. Well, there's a man who was the basis of an article, and they call him Harrison. That's not his real name, but he asked to not be identified by name. But here's the deal. He has, right now, currently, 6 full-time remote jobs. He had up to 9.
What?
He's currently working with 6, bringing in an estimated paycheck of about $800,000 a year.
Wow.
Now, how could you possibly hold 6 or up to 9 full-time remote work jobs? Well, that's because he spends $250,000 a year having other people work for him, attending Zoom meetings and taking notes and doing some clerical stuff. So he's basically kind of started his own employment agency.
Yeah.
Yes.
What line of work are we talking about?
It doesn't say.
Vary? I mean,
it doesn't say. But I
think this is genius.
Yeah.
He's getting the work done that he's contracted to do.
Right.
He's just doing it in a creative way.
Now, here's the thing. Obviously, playing the numbers game from a numbers perspective, if you can make $800,000 a year in your business and pay $250,000, you're walking away with $550,000 as a paycheck as the owner of a business. However, the other companies don't know that he's doing all these jobs, and that's where the problem could arise because a lot of companies have, non-competes.
Yeah, that's true.
Or you're not allowed to hold another position. Most certainly, you could run into an issue of, working within the same field.
Yeah, like trade secrets.
Trade secrets, absolutely.
Yeah, you're not supposed to do this.
No. Supposed to versus absolute genius. I mean, he's been doing it for a few years now. He's unsure how long he'll be able to continue because, of course, with all of the going back to work. But he says a lot of these companies don't require, cameras on during Zoom meetings.
Yeah.
He does have one employee that looks and sounds like him. So when you never meet your bosses, technically our boss, I haven't met yet.
That's right.
So, I could be whoever. He could show up in the office one day and be like, wait a minute, that wasn't the guy on all the Zoom calls. Something's wrong there.
Yeah.
So how long this will last, I don't know.
I wonder why he revealed it, though. Why would you tell anybody?
Well, I guess he was the subject of an article in what magazine was it? I'm trying to find the.
He has a pseudonym, and he doesn't say what industry he works in.
Right,
so.
Business Insider was the article he was a part of, and so how they tracked him down, I don't know. Again, he used a different name. He asked not to be identified by his actual name, so they don't really know who he is.
Right. Okay.
And so. Man, how long you're going to keep the charade up? I don't know. I guess good for you.
I keep
for
going
fleecing
until
the system.
you can't. You know.
Is there any legal issues here? I mean, I guess if he signed a contract with the company,
there's a legal
then
issue.
he could get into some legal issues for sure. So I'm interested. I'm going to keep up on this story.
That is such a great idea, though.
Wow.
Oh my gosh!
Sure, 99.7 The Blitz.
Not so breaking news. The news already broke. We're trying to put it back together.
All right, our first story takes us over to Thailand. You know, it's always nice to get a discount coupon. Sometimes you show up and you're like, oh man, I forgot the coupon. This is a bummer. Well, this restaurant in Thailand, you don't need to bring a coupon with you. You can get an instant discount right when you walk through the door.
I like it.
It just depends on which door you walk through. Because at the entrance to the restaurant, they have kind of this metal gate set up. And the gate is divided with metal bars. And depending on which metal bars you can fit through is the discount you get. So the full price slot, if you will, is a pretty good size slot that anyone can walk through. But then the slots get smaller and smaller. 5% discount, 10% discount, 15% discount, and then a 20% discount. Here's people trying to squeeze through the bars for their discount.
I don't think you tried hard enough.
I told him oatmeal.
Is that your friend?
Yeah, I told him oatmeal.
Push him. You need some butter.
Butter.
Wait, can you do 10? Hold on, he's doing it.
Oh, no, he's
Oh
gonna
my
get-
gosh.
What if he gets
You got
stuck?
the head.
You're good for 5. She already said.
Well done.
I'm guessing there's an all-you-can-eat buffet.
You know, it doesn't say. Here's the thing. The restaurant is called the Chiang Mai Breakfast World German Beer Garden.
Whoa, that
What?
covers a lot.
What?
In Thailand.
I'm all about fusion cuisine, but Breakfast World German Beer Garden? That's a bit odd.
Feels like your menu's probably bigger than Cheesecake Factory.
Right, yeah, at that point. Now, some people are not happy about it actually calling it fat shaming, because if you can't fit through the bars, you're not getting the
That's
discount.
not fat shaming. You're welcoming everyone.
But offering a discount by the bars that you can fit through?
I mean, just
It's not fat shaming, it's thin rewarding.
Oh, is that what it is?
That's what it is.
there you go.
I mean, I don't know. It wasn't that long ago that we were talking about a story, and we brought up comedian John Panette, who
Yes.
was the comedian who did the Asian buffet. You've been here 4 hours,
Yeah.
sort of thing.
Yes, that's right.
So
That's
are you literally eating less food? So they're going to offer you a discount, and is that considered fat shaming?
Oh, I don't think so. I don't
Shame.
think it's. You're not charging fat
Shame.
people more. You're charging them the regular price, right?
Right. Yes.
And the thinner you are, probably the less you eat. I like this idea because I don't eat. I mean, whatever.
Well,
I don't eat as much as somebody who weighs twice what I do.
Right.
I would love it. There are certain restaurants that I'll have to enjoy on my own, or maybe take the boys and leave Nora at home, because years and years ago, Nora had the
Lap band.
not the but with the bariatric surgery,
Okay.
yeah, and she only eats tiny bits of, so I can't take her to a Korean all-you-can-eat barbecue.
Be a waste of money.
Or JB, yeah, exactly. Can't take her to Texas de Brazil and just sit there and get the meat sweats. I'll eat a ton until I'm sick. Going to pay $35 for her to have 3 bites of meat,
Right.
And it just won't do any good.
See,
so.
I feel like you and Thick and Charlie can go eat at Texas
yeah.
de Brazil. Me, Nora, and Heather are squeezing through those thin bars. We're getting ourselves a giant discount.
Yeah.
And we're going to eat a few bites and be good.
Backtrack real quick. Can we do that? Can we get Charlie and go have like a mandate?
Yes.
I'm all in.
Just
Yeah.
yeah. Sweat.
Yes.
Texas Day Brazil sounds like the place.
Yeah. Just pouring pork out the pores.
Go.
I'm all about it. All right, we're going to plan that mandate for sure. All right, your second story comes out of Oklahoma, just outside of Tulsa, Oklahoma, in Rogers County, where Casey Hunt is acting as her own attorney for a DUI charge in 2021. Yes, we're still talking about her DUI charge in 2021 because she is now just going to court for the DUI because it has been delayed so many times because court records show that she has been filing dozens of motions asking the judge to be allowed to talk about jail deaths during her trial. She wants to talk about bringing a support kangaroo to the courthouse.
Okay.
She filed a motion to bring a support kangaroo to the courthouse. At one point, she insisted that the judge read the Declaration of Independence in court, the entire thing. The judge did not.
Yeah. Oh.
Denied.
I feel like this woman should be a defense attorney. She should.
She's doing some of the things that some of these defense attorneys try and pull off. She was finally held in contempt of court for all of the delays that she has been causing, acting as her own attorney. But now she will finally be getting her court date and finally be going to court for the DUI because the judge has had enough.
I would really like a continuance.
No, you will not get one. She's been in and out of jail multiple times after she pulled out of an alleyway, ran into a police officer's car, then crossed the center lane and drove across construction barrels blocking off the street. She failed the sobriety test. And finally, after 4 years, she will now be going to court for that DUI. And no, you cannot bring your emotional support kangaroo to court with you. That is your not-so-breaking news. 99.7 The Blitz. Hey, coming up September 13th, All Out War Motorsports is going to be at historic Cruise Stadium. It's going to be a great time. The Ultimate Car Show, drift competition, imports, muscle cars, lifted trucks, classics. They got it all. If you're a car person, you're going to want to check this out. And we've got your tickets to win. You can pick them up now at Ticketmaster.com. However, we've got a chance for you to win. Save you $100. I mean, tickets are $50 a piece. Who doesn't want to save $100 right now? So we'll get you hooked up. 800-821-9970 if you would like to play and win. We're going to play rock and roll trivia. Very simple. If you're a music fan, you should be able to do very well at this game. Kelly, I'm going to give you an example question, okay?
Uh-oh.
You're going to be our guinea pig.
Okay.
For rock and roll trivia while we wait for someone to call 800-821-9970. It goes like this. I'm going to ask the question. What do the Foo Fighters want to learn?
Oh, man. My brain's freezing up. Foo Fighters.
Foo Fighters want to learn...
Son of... I don't know. I'm freezing.
Okay, hopefully you can do better than Kelly.
I'm freezing. Wait.
Okay.
Oh, learn how to something.
Obviously.
Learn how to...
Come on. Caw! Caw!
Fly!
There you go!
Oh my gosh.
She got there.
I had to sit there and flap my arms.
And I really didn't even get that right
you
away.
didn't. You were looking at me cross-eyed like, what?
Like, learn how to...
Crow? They want to learn to crow?
Crow.
It's just as simple as that. Let's see.
Boy.
Blitz, good morning. Who's this?
Chris.
Chris?
Chris, yeah.
Oh, what's up, Chris? How you doing, man?
Oh, I'm great.
All right, here we go, Chris. 5 questions for rock and roll trivia, just like that. It's going to be a question about a band. It obviously deals with their song titles. So let's see how you do. Chris, question number 1. What does 3 Days Grace hate?
It's all in the song title.
No Googling.
Are you even still there, Chris?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm thinking.
Right.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. You really do got to know your song titles.
You just heard me completely, face plant on this, right? So don't feel bad.
Is this a remake?
No.
No?
No. Of Ugly Kid Joe, no.
Is that not it? Okay.
No.
All right. Chris, you got... No, you got nothing? 3 Days Grace hates everything about you. All right. Let's try another one. Let's go with this one. Let's go easy. AC/DC will do what for very little money?
Oh, boy.
Chris, anything.
Yeah.
Kelly, you were jumping up and down. Do you have a guess?
Dirty deeds, done dirt cheap.
That is good.
30 feet.
Yeah. All right, let's try one more. You got this, Chris. Come on. How would Ozzy Osbourne answer your question?
Any question.
All right, Chris. Great radio. You know what makes for great radio?
That's okay, Chris. I freeze up too. I totally understand.
I don't know is the correct answer.
Would you have accepted Sharon?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. Nothing makes for better radio than complete silence. So, Chris, no, it's quite all right, man. Just for playing along and giving it a try, we'll hook you up anyways. Okay,
Yes,
how about that?
All right.
I appreciate everything.
Because hopefully your coworkers this morning give you a bunch of crap for not knowing a damn thing. Hang on, we'll get you hooked up with All Out War Motorsports because you'll have to put up with complete ridicule at work today. So have a great one, man. We'll talk to you soon.
And now, 3 things you need to know before you go.
All right. A 7-month-old Southside girl is dead after being attacked by her family's dog inside their home. 7 months old. Oh. This incident happened yesterday morning. A woman took the child to a nearby fire station. The child was transported to Nationwide Children's Hospital where she was pronounced dead. 3 dogs in the home were taken by animal control. No info released on the breeds of those dogs. The death toll continues to rise amid an ongoing search and rescue effort after the roof of Dominican Republic nightclub collapsed during a concert early Tuesday morning. At least 184 people are now dead, another 155 injured. It happened at the Jet Set nightclub in Santo Domingo. They still don't know exactly why the roof collapsed. That is being investigated. All right, the U.S. Supreme Court has denied Karen Reed's emergency request to delay her state murder trial until it reviews her appeal claiming double jeopardy. All right, so she was tried last year in the death of her Boston police officer boyfriend, John O'Keefe. There was a mistrial because the jury could not agree on the charges.
But isn't that an acquittal?
No.
I mean...
It is not. An acquittal is declared by a judge that you have agreed that she is not guilty.
Because all 12 people have to agree that someone is guilty, or 6, however many people you have on your jury.
And all
12 have to agree that she's not guilty.
And that gives you your acquittal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, now what her claim is that the mistrial was declared, but the jury in last year's trial had actually reached agreement on 2 of the 3 counts. But they never acquitted her of that. They just declared a across-the-board mistrial.
Which also seems weird, because you can be found guilty on 2 out of 3 charges.
Right, but
I'm no lawyer. I should probably stop talking.
This was unannounced. This was unannounced. The jury, But she, I guess, has spoken to 2 of the jury members from last year, a few of the jury members, who said, yes, we could agree on these 2 counts. We couldn't agree on the 3rd. Anywho, they are now seating a jury for her retrial, and so far they have 15 jurors. They need 16. They need 12 jurors and 4 alternates. They have got 15 of the 16 seated. They should seat that last one. I don't know how they're getting an impartial jury, because not only it was this enormous news in Massachusetts and, amongst people across the United States, there's a docuseries now on Max about the whole first trial. It is a nuts situation. it's, I really encourage you to watch this docuseries. It's really fascinating. It's called A Body in the Snow, the trial of Karen Reed. But anyway, this thing's getting ready to be reheard. Opening arguments could begin later today or likely tomorrow or Monday. So anyway, it's interesting. You want to get on the ground floor of this retrial, I encourage you to come along on the ride with old Kelly Quinn. And those are your 3 things.
No, Kelly, I'm not watching the docuseries.
My gosh.
I've not stopped talking about it since you turned off the microphone.
Poor Goose is like, ask one little question, and I'm like,
well, wait, there's this.
There's this. 20 minutes into a conversation, and your eyes are rolling back in your head.
Did you watch like How to Make a Murderer and all those other?
Yeah.
You're just that typical.
I'm not really that typical
white female who loves murder mysteries.
I'm really not so much. Like, I don't listen to murder podcasts, but I am fascinated by, first of all, I like to be in on something that's happening now, right?
Uh-huh.
And
nothing wrong with being updated, and I mean, that's your job.
I missed out on it last year, and I like drama. So this is being retried. It's current. And our listeners have sort of clued me in to how to get caught up on this, which I'm very grateful for. So I feel like I'm in on it. That's why I loved Severance. It's like you're in on it. It's happening now. The whole world's talking about it. Let's do it.
You should have been here during the Gabby Petito deal. Oh my gosh.
Was I obsessed with that?
Oh my
I can't even remember. I remember that. I've been obsessed with 15 things since.
Right. Well, a lot of people in the text message completely agree with you, so...
Yeah.
If I run out of stuff to watch,
okay,
maybe I'll jump on that. After I get through the entire series of Blues Clues, I'll jump on over to watch that. Hey, if you woke up on the wrong side of the bed this morning or the week's just not going the way you hoped it would, let's make you feel a little bit better by visiting one of my favorite websites, F My Life, a website where people go on and just bitch about things happening in their life so you can feel a little bit better about what's going on in yours. Like this person who says, today it's my honeymoon. I waited patiently for 1.5 years to have sex since I respected her no sex before marriage rule. However, my wife has a new rule. Sex is for procreation and I'm not ready to have children yet. So how long do I have to wait? Oh!
Whoa.
That sounds like the beginning of the end.
I feel like you should have known that.
Yeah, right.
100%.
Yeah.
If that doesn't come out before you get married, we got a serious issue.
Yeah.
If that's what you want to do, that's fine, but that's got to be known before you step into the step up to the altar for sure. Today I had to give a speech at my sister's wedding. I spent weeks preparing every word, and when it was finally my turn, I stood up to the microphone and I froze. Instead of something like, congratulations, I'm so happy for you both, I mixed up whatever jokes I had prepared in my brain, and I blurted out, I'm in love with your husband.
Oh. Oh, that is a freeze up.
I'll tell you what, to this, it's been a year now. Yeah, it's been a year. And I still feel a little heartbroken because I was the best man at a wedding last year. The only time I've ever been a best man. And I had I was so excited to give my speech. However, the father of the bride was a bit of a drinker. And so he had this Frank Sinatra Jack Daniels, this limited edition. Of course, the groomsmen were all having drinks. So by the time I got up, I was like, oh, no.
You're toasted.
I wasn't toasted,
all right,
but you could definitely tell I had a few. And I feel so – I'm like, ugh. And here's the thing.
But everyone else has had a few, too. So you're all right along the same –
True. But here's the thing. I wrote my best man speech as like a set I would do on stage.
Yes.
And so I didn't tell the jokes I wanted to tell the way I wanted to tell them and something, and it still sits with me and irks me.
Where you're like, I'm feeling so good, I'm just going to freestyle this. You threw out the speech, and you just went...
Well, I had it on my phone, and my phone kept closing, so I had to retype in the password. It kept just going back to the lock screen, because I didn't set the time. It was like set on a 1-minute timer. I was still mad about that. Ruined my moment. Let's see. Someone posted, today while at work, I suddenly went into diabetic shock. As I was nearly passed out on the floor, a customer yelled at me for not getting his coffee in time.
Oh.
Wow.
Well, do you have one over there that says, my coworker won't shut up about Karen Reed?
I do not, but I'm probably going to go to the website and list that. Today, my mom meant to send a picture of her poop to my aunt, but sent it to my swim coach instead.
What?
What?
A picture of her poop?
Why are you sending
Is this a Cologuard thing or a look what I've just done?
Right, exactly. Is this a medical issue or a brag?
Right.
Because it could be either.
Does this look weird, or can you believe this came out of my body?
Will that get you kicked off Facebook if you post that picture?
Sure. Yeah.
Will it? Okay,
Yeah,
just curious.
Today, my husband went nuts. He quit his job and set out building an amateur bomb shelter in our backyard. According to him, there's substantial evidence that cannibalism is on the rise across the country, and then it's going to be like Resident Evil out there. That's a serious sit-down conversation with your significant other.
Yeah.
You can't just go all willy-nilly and start building a bomb shelter without talking about it first. Today I had a major digestive emergency while at work. I rushed to the bathroom just to realize there were no toilet paper rolls left. In a moment of desperation, I used the last few pages of my notebook to make do. Now I'm terrified of what's going to happen as my boss is going to ask for the reports that I wrote in the notebook. Here's a question for you. What have you used as substitute toilet paper before? You ever had an emergency?
I mean,
what have you used as?
Yes.
Like a paper towel, but you're not supposed to flush anything other than toilet paper.
Yeah.
Like, did that person flush the paper?
It's a valid question.
I wonder.
That
Or
could
do you
cause some
wad it
major
up
issues,
and then it's like a biohazard in the trash can? What have you used? Like a sock or something? Is that what you're saying? Emergency TP?
I've used a sock before.
Your own underwear? Have you?
Have not used my own underwear before.
No, but an old T-shirt.
Oh.
It happens.
It does?
Did you pitch it?
Yes.
You didn't throw it in the washer?
Gross. No.
Put it on, do it on the hot speed or hot temperature.
I don't want that in my washer.
Use a washcloth and then you have to hand wash the washcloth?
Never seen a racing stripe down the back of a T-shirt.
You got the armpit stains and the poop streak. Straight up just bacon and eggs all over your T-shirt.
Tyler says he accidentally used poison sumac when he was in high school.
Oh, no. Finally, today, I took my girlfriend's virginity. A few minutes in, she remarked, "Is this what sex is normally like?" I'm seriously disappointed. Ouch! Ouch!
Ooh.
I hope you're feeling better about your day. It's 99.7 The Blitz. We have spent plenty of time talking about AI, and we'll make the jokes about Skynet and the robots that they're building and how they're going to be integrated together, and you might have your own Rosie the Robot coming from the Jetsons to be your, personal assistant around your house. I'm sure we'll get there eventually. Life imitating art. And we have taken another step forward in that. Because if you saw the movie Minority Report with Tom Cruise, it was a movie that in the future, they had themselves some precogs, and they were able to predict murders before they happened.
Right.
And then people would get arrested before they even did anything. Well, the police in England have taken a step forward to basically the Minority Report. They have created the Torment Nexus, basically, from the movie, where the Ministry of Justice, the Home Office, the Greater Manchester Police, and the Metropolitan Police of London have now started looking at health markers as a significant predictive power. Yes, they're looking at data, vulnerable population. They're looking at things like mental illness, community involvement, previous records, addiction, vulnerability, disability, and other health markers to see if they can predetermine someone's activities.
Wow.
This is a terrible idea. Who is backing this?
I mean, for research purposes, I can see that it would be interesting to see how it plays out down the road, but you can't take action based on that.
Yet.
Ever, I feel like you shouldn't.
They're insisting they only use data from people with at least one criminal conviction, which also seems BS. You're just going to, basically stereotype a person who has one conviction and start looking at other markers I can't see any positive to this whatsoever.
We're heading toward driving too fast, straight to jail. Slow, jail. Playing music too loud, jail. Right away.
Right.
Whatever.
Like any predetermined,
Yeah.
like, oh, you work in radio. You like to listen to your volume in your car above 22
Right.
on the volume scale. Like,
jail.
What? I don't know. I mean, as of right now, they're using it as, a research project. But I can't see anything.
No practical use for that.
Good
It's
coming from
interesting, and maybe you could use it in therapy or something, but you can't use it for criminal...
For legal reasons.
Legal reasons,
You can't arrest somebody because what you think they might do.
Right.
No, you can't.
And there's, again, at a trial, how are you ever going to... There's no proof!
Yeah, what do we call that? Like, you pull people over based on whatever.
Profiling.
Profiling.
Yeah, profiling. Yeah.
You absolutely. This is just. What I guess what's a little more upsetting is the fact that they're spending money on this.
Yeah.
Like, this obviously takes people, manpower, hours, technology.
Yeah.
Like, you're spending money on this.
Yeah, to what end?
To what end? Right. Pretty sure this money could be used somewhere else. Just saying.
I also don't want people doing things based on gut feelings because I have a lot of strong gut feelings and they're normally, especially when it comes to somebody's guilt or innocence, I'm like, oh, they're guilty. Right there. And it's like, no, they turn out not to be.
You would
like
not make
my
a good
gut
juror.
feeling is, I don't like the way you look. I think you did it. I don't like your attitude. I think you're guilty.
You just look guilty.
Like Karen Reed.
Okay. Moving along. 99.7 The Blitz. It was only a couple days ago there was a story that came out where a gentleman had 7 tigers removed from his house. I think he stated that they used to be Tiger King's tigers.
Yeah, he did.
But why do you have 7 tigers in your house? Which, by the way, got me thinking right before we turned on the microphone, this just hit me. How crazy is it? We're all caught up in Tiger King during COVID. It was the one thing that pretty much everyone watched. How crazy is it that during filming, one of the employees lost their arm and got bit by a tiger?
Is that nuts?
That's crazy.
And kept working
And,
there.
and still wanted to be there.
No, had an option to save it, remember, and said, no, just cut it off.
Right.
Just, I want to get out of here and get back to my life.
And probably the greatest moment in the Tiger King documentary was when that happened. Tiger King threw on the EMS windbreaker, the paramedic windbreaker. What are you doing, dude?
Remember he used to get spoiled meat at the grocery stores and feed him to his tigers?
Yes.
Oh.
Anyways, it brought up the conversation. What animal have you had loose in your house? Because a lot of us have had some sort of animal run through or get stuck. And I'm not talking about your typical mouse that goes running across your kitchen, but an animal that has been in your house. Kelly, you got one?
We had a bat. I mean, and this was when I was in college. There were 8 of us living in this 3-bedroom house on the
Right.
north end of campus on Patterson Avenue. And we just kept hearing this, like, sort of banging around up in the attic. And then we had the pull downstairs or whatever.
Yes.
And somebody was brave enough to go up there and look, and it was a bat. And, of course, we all were like, oh, bye.
Did you do the Office?
I'll be at my parents' for a couple days.
Do the Office where you put a garbage bag over someone's head and just
Yeah.
beats it, catches the bat, and just beats him with a broomstick? 800-821-9970. We'd love to hear your story. What animal was ransacking your house? Thick, you got one?
Chipmunk in the house, raccoon in the garage. The chipmunk, I could hear some noise in the laundry room. He had come in through the laundry vent and fell down the tube that goes to the back of the dryer.
Oh.
And so I had to undo the tube from the dryer. Now he's running all over the laundry room. My daughter wanted to keep it.
How did you end up catching him?
I put on gloves and I got him cornered and got a hold of him and put him in a box.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, humane trapping. Look
Yeah,
at you.
and then let him go outside.
That's kind of shocking that you were able to catch him.
Yeah.
They're pretty fast.
The raccoon and I were ready to go. He was in the garage, got up in the overhang on the back of the garage. There's space in there, and he somehow got up there and into that. Trying to get him out of there was unbelievable.
And avoid rabies.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. Blitz, good morning. Who's this?
This is George.
George, what animal did you have running around your house?
So it wasn't my house, but in elementary school, our librarian for the school had a pet monkey. And about once a month, she would bring him into the school, And, I mean, pretty well-behaved monkey. Wore a diaper.
Right.
But there were a couple times where it would just kind of start running around the library and knocking books off.
Wow. What kind of monkey, though? I mean, because...
honestly, I don't know.
Right.
It wasn't like a chimp. It was just a small monkey.
Like a squirrel monkey.
Yeah, that's so strange. There's no way. Thanks for the call, man. Blitz, good morning. Who's this?
Hung up.
Oh.
There we go.
Blitz, hello. Who's this? Nope. Let's try this one. Blitz, good morning. Who's this?
This is Damon Crawford.
Damon, what kind of animal do you have running around your house?
I got a Goliath bird-eater tarantula and another tarantula and a damn jumping spider. I can't find them.
No.
Currently? They're currently lost in your house?
Yeah, in my apartment. But I've got 2 snakes and another tarantula in my living room and a scorpion, so I'm not scared.
Hell no! A jumping spider and 2 tarantulas roaming around your apartment. I am burning that bitch to the ground.
See, he thinks they're lost.
Yeah,
they to themselves are not.
Right.
Yesterday I didn't know your phone number or something about you did that and survived.
Yes.
I was drunk and high on my 4th DUI, and my girlfriend won't give me no sex, so I ran the stop sign going 60 miles an hour and got T-boned by a truck. And I woke up in a life flight with broken ribs. I didn't have my seatbelt on. And had glass was peppered in my damn forehead.
Damn you.
Gosh,
I woke up in the life flight, didn't know how I got there, and that got me believing in God.
And after that experience, you threw caution to the wind and got yourself all kinds of deadly animals.
Yeah.
Please, what were we talking?
I made you guys laugh.
Wait, what were we talking about on Monday? Because I want to hear his story about what we were talking about on Monday. Let's keep going back. All the conversations he missed.
That's awesome.
Thanks for the call, Damien.
Drunk and high on my 4th DUI.
After all that, I bought a scorpion.
Yes.
Oh, God, my stomach hurts. Let's go. Let's do one more. Blitz, good morning. Who's this?
This is John.
John, what animal did you have running around your house?
So I used to I was starting up an animal rescue, and we had a 14-foot reticulated python that kept getting out, and it kept getting out so often that we changed its name to Houdini.
I'm not living in a house where the python just keeps getting out.
Did somebody adopt it?
It was bad. We moved everything because we were like, we cannot stop looking until we find this thing.
Yeah.
14 feet. That is... Where did you house that thing? My gosh.
We had to build a custom cage for it, and it was like 150 pounds.
Who has it now?
We still have it. We're just at a better spot where we don't have to keep the animals in our house anymore.
Wow.
It's not happening. There's no way.
That's
Thanks for the call,
amazing.
man.
My python was 3.5 feet, not 14.
Nope.
You had a micro python.
It's called a ball python. He had a ridiculous.
A micro python.
800-821-9970. What animal did
I'm
you
going to
have?
keep saying it until you laugh.
Yeah, I'm already laughing. We're all laughing.
Thick has a micro python. Thick has a micro python. Thick has a micro python. All right, let's get Sam on the phone. Sam, what animal did you have running around your house?
Hey, good morning. I actually had 2 within the same year. First one was a pet. I was about 9 or 10. It was like a little lizard gecko. I remember we went to PetSmart and the guy was holding it. About a week into it, I thought it would be cool to be like, oh, let me try to hold it. Well, he got out, and I lied to my mom and said he died, and I threw him in the trash can, and he was running around through the house somewhere. And then literally the same year, my grandma got a tarantula for her birthday, and my mom went to go pick it out, and it bit the guy at the pet store.
Oh, no.
And then, so I was like, I'm already terrified of spiders, let alone a tarantula that, is going to bite. But then randomly we're at dinner at her house, 6 months down the road or whatever. She's like, yeah, it got out of the cage. We haven't found it yet. And I'm like, yeah, I'm out.
Yeah,
I was like, I don't want anywhere to be in this house.
Who gets grandma a tarantula for a birthday gift? That seemed. Did you have like a weird grandma?
It's very aggressive too.
I I have a very cool grandma. I'm not going to lie.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Did she want a tarantula for her birthday? She's like, you know what you could get me? A tarantula.
Oh, wow.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
Next year is one of Michael Vick's dogs.
It's
gonna
wow. Thanks for the call. Blitz, good morning. Blitz, good morning. Who's this?
Hi, my name's Anna.
Anna, what animal did you have running around your house?
Wasn't actually my house. It was a customer's house.
Okay.
I used to be a chimney sweep. So
You're
when
a
I
chimney sweep. Okay.
Yeah. So when I got to their home to do the sweep, I opened up the doors, and 2 squirrels come running out into their home.
Oops. Now, did you have to explain to them, sorry, I let squirrels loose in your house?
Oh, no. They were there. They were watching the sweep, so they watched them run out through the house.
Really?
Yep. So my coworker and I each grabbed a bucket, and we're chasing them around, and we're able to catch them in the buckets and take them out to the yard and release them in their yard.
Were you singing chim chimney, chim chimney, chim chim chiree?
All I can see is Christmas Vacation.
I mean, I'm glad that you caught them and put them in a bucket and released them, because I'm going after them with a big old shovel. I'm swinging away.
Then you have to clean up guts.
I would rather clean up guts than try and pick them up. That's what a shovel's for. Scoop, flip, out the door. Well, thanks for the call. Oh, man. There's no way.
And now, all right, I'm listening. 3 things you need to know before you go.
President Trump made a dramatic U-turn on tariffs for every country except China. For China, tariffs on imports have now risen to a record 125%. For every other country, higher tariffs have been paused, and everybody's sort of at a baseline 10% tariff. This reprieve yesterday sent stocks to their best rally since 2008. And by singling out China, it puts maximum pressure on that country to make a deal. Will China continue to escalate with additional duties or contact Washington to start negotiations? We'll have to see. We don't know yet. The goal, in part, is to stimulate domestic investment, to encourage American companies to bring foreign supply chains back home, and to raise tax revenues. An American Airlines flight from JFK was 4 hours into a flight to Milan this week when it was forced to turn around. Passengers were initially told there was a technical problem, but it was pretty clear right away that it was because of an unruly male passenger. Reports are the man was already angry to begin with because he was not allowed to sit in an exit row because he had a baby with him. And they're like, you need to take care of your baby. You can't be responsible for an exit row.
Oh, yeah, you can't do that.
No. So he was ticked about that. And then apparently he had pre-chosen a meal for the flight. It's an international flight.
Okay.
A meal on that bad boy. And they didn't have what he had requested. So
That's a bummer.
set him off. Set him off.
Sure, that sucks. But to cause a disturbance over it?
It's not worth turning around.
He reportedly he charged at the flight attendants in the back of the plane. And then at one point, turned around and charged toward the pilot's cabin. And then the flight crew just started making an announcement. Is anybody a police officer? Is anybody a member of the military? A former member of the military? Can anybody help us here? Restrain this guy. And they ended up being able to keep him sort of in the back of the plane until they landed back at JFK, and the man was escorted off the flight by authorities.
Dick, are you jumping in a situation like that?
Maybe.
100% jumping in.
Yeah.
100%. I am no manly man. I am no fighter. But there's no way in hell. I'm not taking that chance.
Crash the plane. Who knows what's going to
No way. I am
going on.
100% jumping in that melee
Yeah.
to hold that man down.
What? But what? How does somebody think they can just do that? I mean, how do you get on the plane? And go, well, I'm
you could ask that question about a lot of things.
I know, but it's just like, my God, just a tiny bit of common sense says don't do that.
The worst part to me is this guy has a child. This guy's what?
Yeah, and he's got a child with him.
With a kid.
Yeah. So is he running down the aisle carrying the baby?
It's strange. All right, NBC's institution, Saturday Night Live, is crossing the pond to launch a British edition in partnership with Sky. SNL, which has been a cornerstone of American pop culture for 50 years, will debut Saturday Night Live UK in 2026. So it'll be really the same format: political satire, celebrity impersonations, musical performances, and this will be shown to British and Irish audiences. So I guess Lorne Michaels is going to be serving as executive producer for the UK adaptation, and he'll continue to sort of helm the ship of the American version.
Absolutely, yeah. How is this not happening?
I don't know.
Or do we just not know about the British version of Saturday Night Live? Like, they've already had kind of a sketch. I'm sure they've had many sketch comedy shows, but
yes,
yeah, for Saturday Night Live, that seems a little weird.
You're thinking sort of like a Monty Python-ish, or anything like that. But I don't know. Like, I always hear of the success of bringing British shows to America, like The Office or Shameless or whatever, but I don't hear about the reverse. Like, are they adapting our stuff, or are they just watching our stuff because it's already really well made?
The other thing, too, a ton of game shows are stolen from overseas.
Was that here first, though?
No, it's British Got Talent first.
It was?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, so I don't know. I know they had a British version of Law and Order for a while, but...
Oh, did they really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think it's still on. Anyway, I don't know. Should be interesting. I'd like to take a peek at that, see what the Brits come up with.
It's going to be much drier humor, for sure.
Right.
Have you ever watched, like, the British version of The Office versus our version of The Office?
Yeah.
We find different things funny.
Yes, we do.
For sure.
Those are your three things.
All right, I found this article, and they asked people, what type would you never date again? And I wanted to hear from some people. 800-821-9970 or 99-700. And it's a little difficult for us here in the studio because obviously we're all in long-term committed relationships. Although, I'm trying to think, obviously, mine being the shortest and the people I have previously dated, I'm trying to think of the type that I would never date again.
For me, it's a drama queen.
Okay.
Not that I have to worry. I don't have that with my wife. She's nowhere near being a drama queen. And the thing I hear from women is mama's boys.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that. Did get a few text messages.
Yeah, Susie said she would never date anyone who's in a band ever again.
Oh.
I kind of get that, I guess.
Okay.
With I guess, band people stereotype. You know, like, you're traveling around, you're doing gigs, and you probably have a lot of women throwing themselves at you, and I'm sure it's difficult to sort of stop yourself.
But it's also a difficult schedule, because if they're leaving the house at 7 p.m. every night to go set up and then play their music and not coming home till 2:30 in the morning.
I went straight to infidelity, but you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. It
the
is
schedule
a
as a whole would be very difficult. Things on the list. People who are emotionally unavailable, someone said.
Yeah.
Gym bros. I can see that. I mean,
gym bros.
If you look in the mirror more than I do, we might.
I don't mean this from a derogatory place, but I could never date a gym chick because that's a certain lifestyle that I'm not into. Sure, I want to get back to the gym and do a little swimming, maybe lift weights once a week, but I'm not necessarily watching if I want a burger, I want a big fat burger.
Yeah,
if I want to go get chicken wings, I'm going to get chicken wings.
Yeah, you want to go out on a date and you're so limited with what you can do because the other person is so, strict with their diet. That would be different. That'd be difficult.
Yeah, not at all.
Yeah, although I envision that I like how great a shape I could be in if I would have just an ounce of discipline.
No, I enjoy food too much. I don't have the discipline. There's no way.
Me neither.
What you got over there, Thick?
Bob said the unemployment type.
Okay.
Oh, person who doesn't like to work.
Yeah, and then we got another one that says equestrian girls.
Oh, horse girls.
Oh, what's wrong?
My niece is an equestrian. Well,
wait, what is it about equestrian girls, though?
Tell us, please.
Yeah, I'm very curious. What's wrong with equestrian girls that you would never date that type again?
Now, Mitzi says definitely avoid the insecure type. They are the ones who will try to control you.
Yeah, that makes sense. I absolutely agree with this one. Someone said people who use "I'm a free spirit" to excuse bad behavior and actions.
Oh yeah, that's a good one though.
That happened one time when I was in when I lived in Colorado Springs. I used to perform at the comedy club there quite regularly. I was like one of their house MCs and would do my opening set and stuff. And my girlfriend came with me one time and her friend, because they would get in free, and they had no problem going to see a show. And I can't remember, it was a decent comedian they wanted to go see, and her friend said, "Oh yeah, I'm going to heckle the comedian. It's just fun to heckle the comedian."
Oh no!
I'm just that it's fun to interact. I'm like, no, it's not fun to heckle the comedian. Although comedians are used to or quote unquote trained to handle hecklers, and we will completely destroy you. It's not something we want to happen. Other people are there. Another 150 people or so are there to watch the show at the comedy club. They're not there to pay to see you.
Right.
I hate those people. Hate them.
Yes.
All right. If you've got one, 800-821-9970 or 99-700. It's 99.7 The Blitz.
Not so breaking news. The news already broke. We're trying to put it back together.
All right, let's take a trip out to Iowa City, Iowa, where a man was just arrested for stealing and drunkenly driving an excavator down Muscatine Avenue with a blood alcohol level 3 times the legal limit. Dustin Snyder, 40-year-old, was charged with second offense operating while intoxicated with a suspended license, by the way. Officers responded to the scene at 3 p.m. Saturday. He did this in the middle of the day. Now, I've had my fair share of day drinking. I've had my fair share of day drinking stories, but I've never stolen an excavator on a Saturday afternoon. I kind of want to now, but I've never done it.
Remember somebody stole that crane from that site?
60 tons?
Yeah, 60 tons. I feel like you have to be drunk to think that you can operate this machinery. Although,
unless that's what he does for a living, and he's like, look what I can do.
Well, yeah, that ton, they said somebody had to know what they were doing to steal that.
Did they just drive it down the street like you're just turning onto Fifth Avenue in that bad boy? What's happening?
How?
Oh, I love an excavator, though. I'd like to try that.
I would absolutely love to try it. I have operated one. We had a big rental company outside of our station, well, close to our station in Ann Arbor. There was a place called Wolverine Rental, and they did that. You could rent large equipment if you were doing home repairs or things like, or companies like U of M football would rent certain things from them if they were doing work.
This is dumb, but don't you have to have a CDL or something for this?
Well, to drive it. No.
I don't know. I'm just.
I assume you need a license to build things. Right. But they would set it up, and they would let us come down, and you could dig holes and all that stuff.
Do that.
It was fun. Not gonna lie. Police said Snyder smelled of alcohol, had bloodshot and watery eyes, slurred speech, and was unable to keep his balance. He did admit to drinking, and here's the problem: he had a prior DWI in September of 2024, and his license was suspended on March 4th for failing to pay a fine. So he's got all kinds of legal troubles coming. Don't steal excavators after drinking. Okay? Take an Uber.
I mean, you live your life the way you want. Let the rest of us do.
Okay, well, I guess there's that. All right, Vic, here we go. We all know how you would handle this story, but video has been posted online outside of a college apartment building where 5 girls have been stuck for about 4 days now because there's a pair of geese, and one of them is very aggressive. They've got video of people walking down the street, and all of a sudden, this goose will take 3 steps and then take off flying right at people, pecking at the back of people's heads. It chased the girls up the stairs, and they've been locked in their apartment for the past 4 days.
It must be nesting.
Well, there's got to be
it's what's going on this time of year.
Yeah, there's got to be eggs somewhere close by. But the girls...
No, thank you. I am not messing with a bird of that size. I'm not doing it. They're mean.
They are mean. Vic, how would you handle the problem?
Punch him right in the mouth. Here's what I'll tell you. If you watch those videos, the goose starts flying after people as soon as they turn around and run. If you yell at that bird, you stomp your foot at that goose, he's going to back off.
Even if you're getting near its nest? You think it's going to back off?
No, if you're walking up to the eggs, no, it's probably, it's going to fight for its life of its
Okay, so what
babies.
if it's fighting for its life with you because you need to get up the stairs and it's nesting right next to the stairs?
Well, that's his problem. I didn't put him there.
I know. What are you doing is what I'm saying.
I will punch him. I will kick him.
And then leave the babies with no dad?
No, I'm not going to kill it. And that's the other thing is people act.
What do you think a swift kick to
Are you worried
do?
about geese orphans?
I am extremely worried about geese orphans.
I have dealt with these things so many times at the boat ramp. I mean, the docks are covered with their crap.
Yeah. What do you do? You just yell at it?
You just yell at them. You stomp at them. If you you put your arms up in the air and go at it, it'll just run away.
I will say this: if that thing came waddling towards me hissing, I absolutely would kick it right in the balls. No problem
Smack
whatsoever.
it in the head and it'll run away. You don't have to.
But
it's not going to do any serious damage.
Here's the other thing: these birds, this particular bird, was also seen flying at people, and
when they run.
I might be in thick Rick territory here, but I have a feeling that from watching this video, the way the goose flies at you, I could easily snatch it by the neck out in midair.
Yeah, they're not that fast in the air.
Watching the video, I'm like, snatch it.
Yeah.
And then I'm just gonna use it like a back and forth and bash it on the ground.
I got pecked by a penguin once, and it was so fast I didn't see it coming. It got the back of my hand and it drew blood.
That hurt.
Birds are wily, they're fast, and you don't know what's coming. You never know what's coming. So I'm saying, if that thing got a shot at your groinal area,
the groinal area,
your groinals, it gets up into your groinals. You're in trouble, man.
Do you think he knows to do that? I'm going right for his junk.
I'm just getting him right in the grundle. Just gonna peck away.
But people act like the thing will kill them. Like, I'm going to die because this goose is after me.
I just don't want to tangle with anything that I don't understand. And I don't understand a goose.
I've heard that a time or two.
We're still trying.
Yeah, 99.7 The Blitz. All right, crazy things can happen anywhere. One of my favorite sayings is, life doesn't give an F about your plans.
Right.
It will do whatever it wants, whenever it wants. And this is a very, unfortunate story. No one wants to go to a funeral. But it's more unfortunate when something goes wrong. And that's exactly what happened to this family when they were carrying the casket from the, why can't I think of the word? The car, the
hearse.
The hearse, thank you, the hearse. Oh, I couldn't think of that word. The pallbearers are carrying the coffin from the hearse to the gravesite. And they get to the gravesite to then place the coffin down on the straps. So you do the ceremony and then lower. Unfortunately, whatever boards they had around the hole all broke. Take a listen.
It was just a horrible incident that happened in a bad moment. The casket laid on top of him and he was out like a light. His face was in the mud. The whole thing was trembling. It was wobbly. It was unstable. It was all wet and soaked. I think that they should apologize. I think that there should be some reimbursement involved, being that the ceremony was interrupted. Nothing was done properly.
Out in Philadelphia, Benjamin Aviles was being buried. And yes, the boards around the gravesite collapsed, causing the pallbearers. Well, the coffin fell on one of the pallbearers.
Oh, my gosh.
And he fell in first.
He fell in
and
first,
then the casket landed on him. Oh, wow. They're not light either.
I can't imagine. Did you ever have anything crazy go on at a funeral? I know years ago, back in the 50s, my father's best friend at the time passed away unexpectedly at a very young age. And, they were in their 20s. And at the funeral, my dad had not a short fuse, very impulsive, if you will. And, after the coffin was lowered, my dad jumped in. And started pounding on the coffin.
What?
He was so mad at his best friend for dying.
Chip the clown
jumped in and started beating on the coffin, yelling at him.
Man. Oh, that is really sad.
Yeah,
it's really sad.
It is.
But I can't imagine seeing that. Oh man. Yeah. So, did something crazy happen at a funeral? 800-821-9970. Dying to know. 6345 text in, said, my boyfriend's niece passed away tragically. Unfortunately, at the funeral, her 2 sisters, 2 baby daddies got into a fist fight.
Oh.
What?
Yeah. I've seen the widow and the previous wife who brought his kids to the funeral get into it with the widow into a fist fight.
Really?
Okay.
You were there for that?
Yes. That's Grove City, baby.
Oh, man.
Wow. That's serious.
Can you think of anything?
I had a weird incident at a funeral that I was at not too long ago. It's been within the past year. I'm going to try to keep it a little bit anonymous. But the priest who was doing the graveside, we've already been at a full Catholic mass, right, for this funeral. And this is a beloved family member, like one of the rocks of our family. My uncle passed away. So it is a really sad, super sad, big family affair. We've gone through a full Catholic mass, which is very long. We get to the gravesite, and then the priest does another, it wasn't lengthy, but it was a decent size sort of sermonish thing. But anyway, he did a great job, and everybody's sort of filing out. And I said I went to the priest and I said, hey, that was lovely, and things you said, and we're all emotional. It's a difficult day. And he goes, I do a lot of funerals out here. I go, oh, is that right? And he said, yeah, you see those gravestones there? And he told me an entire story about a dad who murdered his 2 daughters.
Wait, what?
I'm like, brother, I am at a funeral for my uncle who I love to the depths of my soul. I don't need to hear about this huge tragedy.
Right.
It was kind of weird.
That is a little weird.
And I don't think he probably just does so many funerals. You sort of lose, perspective on what each family's going through. And
which seems kind of weird because that, each funeral is its own thing and the family's grieving in their own way.
It sort of reminded me of being in an emergency room. And the staff there, they're so used to emergencies, they're able to carry on fun conversations and laugh and stuff. And meanwhile, there's people in a lot of crisis going on. But you kind of lose that idea that...
Lose a little bit of touch.
A little touch.
Yeah. Blitz, good morning. Who's this?
Hey, this is Dave, man. How's it going?
Good, Dave. Did you see something crazy at a funeral?
Oh, yeah, man. My sister-in-law, her father had passed away. He was a fireman, so it was a big funeral. Her husband at the time overdosed and died at the funeral.
No! What?
Crazy is that?
Oh, my gosh. That's awful. Maybe this was the wrong topic. I don't want to... crazy, awful stories. Oh, thanks for the call. That is unbelievable. Kelly, to go along with what you said about, professionals kind of losing touch.
Yes.
At my father's funeral, I've shared that my brother is a Broadway producer, and one of his shows is Hamilton.
Yes.
About the biggest show on Broadway, and especially back when my father passed almost 10 years ago, Hamilton was still at the peak of peaks, and sitting graveside with the rabbi doing the service, he was talking about the 3 kids, my sister, my brother, and myself, and talked about Jeffrey and what he does, and he goes, and maybe Jeffrey could get me some tickets to Hamilton. No, he did not.
What?
No, he did not. What? Did you just do what I think you did?
Oh that is insane.
Did you just ask for tickets graveside at my father's funeral?
He's the winner.
That's absolutely crazy.
The audacity.
I mean,
the audacity to try and slip that in.
That's worse than inappropriate. Worse. What's the worst word for inappropriate?
Absolutely mind blown. Absolutely mind blown. If you've got one, love to hear from you. 800-821-9970. All right, yeah. A little bit of a dark topic this morning, but crazy things happen everywhere. A story out of Philadelphia where pallbearers were carrying a casket from the hearse to the gravesite, and as they got to the gravesite, the wood planks around the hole broke, and everyone fell in with the casket. Dang. Absolutely crazy. We wanted to know, did you ever see anything crazy at a funeral? Kevin says, my grandmother, who has dementia, attended my grandfather, her ex-husband's funeral. No one could sit with her as the pastor listed off his good qualities. She would randomly yell out, "Not the man I knew."
I love it. Oh my gosh, that is great.
Phil, good morning. What crazy thing did you see at a funeral?
It wasn't me personally, but my brother went to one and they dug the wrong hole.
Oh!
The wrong slot? The wrong
Talk about a plot hole gone wrong.
Right. Oh. So they were like, wait, the body doesn't belong here. We got to... So what do you do?
What do you do in the meantime?
Do you put them in, or do you just put the casket on the grass where they're supposed to be buried?
Not to be crass, but how long does it take to dig deep enough? Like, I wonder how long. Can you do it same day, or is that something?
I think, yeah, well, they've got like excavators.
Yeah.
It's not just done by hand.
No, I know that,
But
I didn't know. Do they have like a cemetery-owned excavator?
I gotta
They just
believe.
roll that bad boy out.
Depending on the size of the cemetery.
Yeah, if you look at like Greenlawn, that thing, they have to have one on site.
Kelly, go grab the shovel. Start digging. Start digging. Hey, Phil, thanks so much for the call. Rebecca, what crazy thing did you see at a funeral?
My dad's pacemaker, they forgot to remove it or turn it off. So when we arrived for the funeral, it started to alarm.
Oh, my
Wait. Was your dad the one that was passed in the casket?
Yes.
Yeah,
and
he was in the casket.
And his pacemaker kept going.
Oh, no! It was just immediate family, but they had to call the pacemaker company and get it turned back off. And yeah,
was that so traumatizing? Oh my gosh!
My mom almost collapsed because all of a sudden it went off. And at first we thought it was a fire alarm or something because it was really loud. And then we finally figured out. My mom was like, because she'd heard it before, she was like, "That's his pacemaker."
Wait,
oh my god!
You can hear you can hear it from inside the chest. There's a
yes.
Really?
Going off. It's really, really loud.
Oh, I would have so much fun with that. Like if they had like a test button, I'd walk around and be like, "What is that?" Or, oh my God, could you imagine that thing goes off and all of a sudden from inside the coffin you hear, "Oh no!"
That's what happened. He was inside the coffin. Oh my God!
That is awful. That is actually awful.
Well, we were terrified we wouldn't be able to get a hold of them and get it turned off before everybody started arriving.
Wait, you did get it turned off before everyone started arriving?
It was just immediate family that was there when it went off. Luckily, we got it turned off before everybody else started showing up. But all of us were standing around the coffin, like, doing that first look, and all of a sudden, just this big, loud alarm starts chiming, and we're like, what is going on?
Bro, that is so crazy.
Why is it so dark in here?
Oh, girl, that is awful.
Oh, God. All right, well, thank you so much for the call. That is
that might be the worst.
Absolutely traumatizing. I'm so sorry, Rebecca. Okay, I think we'll end on that one. 99.7 The Blitz.
And now, 3 things you need to know before you go.
AEP says electric bills are going up this summer by an average of around $27 a month. This is an out-of-control utility.
Third time in the past 3 years.
I mean, you are paying so much for electricity. Come over to the cooperative side. Come on over. Anyway, officials say customers will likely be paying about 2 cents more per kilowatt hour beginning in June. Like I said, that'll be an average of an extra $27 a month. I guess they say there's higher demand for power generation, and that's not under AEP's control. It's out of their hands.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to get to the point. I remember being yelled at by my parents for, like, leaving the light on when you leave a room and things like that.
Right? There you go.
You're really going to have to get back to those days.
That's right.
Shutting things down.
So sick of it.
Well, if you need an extra reason to be glad you live in Ohio, here's one. A recall has been issued for Cabot Creamery butter in 7 states because of fecal contamination. Now, they were not sent to Ohio, thank you. But Arkansas, Connecticut, Maine, New Hampshire, New York, Pennsylvania, Vermont. So if you have any relatives there, let them know that they do not want to eat the poopy butter. Elevated levels of coliform were found in the company's 8-ounce extra creamy premium butter. I'll say it's extra creamy.
Yeah, it is.
Coliform is bacteria found in the digestive tracts of humans and other animals. Now, the FDA says, and they always seem to say this, if you ate it already, no big, you should be fine.
Right.
But if you didn't, throw it out.
But here's the thing, though, that always cracks me up. You hear stories like this, and then we all learn that there is an acceptable amount of fecal matter that can be found in food before the FDA is like, we got to do a recall. There's too much fecal matter.
Yeah.
but there is an acceptable amount of fecal matter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which isn't zero, by the way.
Yeah.
It's
It is
higher
not
than zero.
The company, the butter company, says it has identified. This is so funny and so cryptic, but it says it identified the cause and has taken the appropriate internal actions to address it. Like, someone took a dump in the butter churn, man. Just say that. Anyway,
oh, God.
I know. Think you did this story.
Put the butt in butter.
Man, punch that guy.
You did the story for our Morning Blitz trivia earlier, but I did want to reiterate that Weezer bassist Scott Schreiner's life has gotten a little interesting.
Oh, my gosh.
His wife Jillian has been arrested for attempted murder after she allegedly pointed a gun at police officers who were chasing 3 hit-and-run suspects near her home in L.A. This incident had nothing to do with her, by the way. But according to police, the 3 suspects ran into this residential neighborhood, her neighborhood, and one of them ran behind the home next door to the Schreiner residence. As the cops ran back there, 51-year-old Jillian Schreiner went into her backyard with a 9mm handgun. Officers ordered her to drop it numerous times and say she refused. So officers fired. She has been treated for a non-life-threatening gunshot wound. I think you said they hit her in the shoulder.
Yeah,
Nick?
got her in the shoulder.
Yeah, and she was taken into custody and booked for attempted murder.
But she also apparently pointed the gun at the officers.
Right.
Yeah, that's why she got shot.
You can't do that.
Well, and she's being booked for attempted murder, which I'm only assuming is because she must have discharged the weapon. They won't say.
Yeah, and
They won't say.
Yeah, I guess
Rolling
pointing
Stone
the
called
weapon.
it a shootout.
Yes, they did.
You know.
So, yeah, I'm assuming she had to pull the trigger.
What's going on with her?
Oh.
Was she? Do you suppose she had been doing
Something's
drugs
wrong.
or something?
Maybe she's got a mental health issue or something.
Something, man.
We'll find out more. I'm quite sure. Somebody's going to rehab out of this, I feel like, or something.
Yeah.
All right, those are your 3 things.
Another day, another opportunity to talk about ChatGPT. I mean, it's all over the place.
Never
becoming
ends.
more and more prevalent. I really want to do, a couple days ago, I'd asked you and Kelly for like a kind of a chest up or waist up shot.
Yeah, I know. We know what happened with that.
Well, I've been lazy. Because there's a new trend online where people are going to ChatGPT and you can get turned into an action figure. And they put you like in the little cardboard box with the plastic covering.
Oh, okay.
And it's got like a couple of toy accessories next to it.
I love it.
And so you take your picture
Right.
and they will actually turn you into an action figure. I'll do it today. I've just been lazy.
You can get a Funko Pop done too.
Yeah.
My wife got one done of me.
Yeah, I would love to do that. That'd be a blast. But they are now saying there are a few things you shouldn't tell ChatGPT or your AI chatbot, including your password. Don't tell it to remember your passwords. Because at some time, if it does get hacked, your passwords could be all over the dark web someday. Stuff that could be used to steal your identity. Don't load any passport information or social security information. Even your name or address might be a little risky. You might not want to tell. But if you can't remember your own address, you have bigger issues. Don't tell ChatGPT that. Don't tell ChatGPT any financial information like your bank account numbers or your crypto keys if you own any crypto. People do it by mistake sometimes, and people might be able to get your account information off of there. Don't tell ChatGPT any illegal activity, even if you're joking. OpenAI does track chats, so they might be able to use that to detect or prevent illegal activity. In fact, there was just a story that came out. Where is this story from? Minnesota. A 30-year-old woman has just been arrested because she took a car to a scrap yard to get money for the scrap metal. Ended up being an older minivan. However, it turns out that minivan was stolen. And they found out because after she was a suspect, they found her journal in which she wrote, "Today I totally stole a car, something I never thought I would do. I'm freaking out about it." Don't write your illegal activity in your journal.
Oh, my God.
Or tell it to ChatGPT for that matter. Other things you shouldn't do or tell ChatGPT. Don't tell it embarrassing secrets. If hackers get in, they can use it to blackmail you and reveal your embarrassing secrets. And finally, corporate info. Don't share corporate info. Again, it gets broken into, it gets hacked. you've got sensitive information about your company out there, especially the information that the company doesn't want out and about in the world, you might be in a bit of trouble. Little lesson for you. It's 99.7 The Blitz.
Now, let's see if we can learn you something. Sit up and pay attention.
All right, here we go. Let's make you a bit smarter than you were when you woke up this morning. Did you know there are 11 U.S. states that only have one area code? The entire state.
Rhode Island's got to be one of them.
Rhode Island is one of them.
Smallest state.
Yes,
so.
absolutely. Alaska, Delaware, Hawaii, Maine, Montana, New Hampshire, North Dakota, South Dakota, Vermont, Wyoming, and Rhode Island.
So I'm guessing that all the least populated states.
That's exactly it. Yeah.
Just don't need any more.
They don't need any more zip or area codes than just the one that they have. There have been more than 20,000 Major League Baseball players in history, and just one had a last name that started with the letter X. Leovigildo Exquizes. He played in the 1940s.
Oh, I figured that'd be somebody newer.
No, not at all. There have been 56 whose last name started with Q, and 106 who have had the last name started with a Z before. This is pretty crazy and somewhat scary to think about. CNN has got a video clip ready to go, ready to put on air for when the world is about to end.
Oh, my gosh.
It's already produced and made, and it's a band playing the song Nearer, My God, to Thee. I don't know what that is. Can you Google that real quick?
That's what I'm doing.
Nearer, comma, my God, comma, to Thee. I mean, I have to assume it's somewhat of a slow song. Did it come up?
Yeah, I got some live ones. Oh, wait, here we go.
Probably an ad before it.
Oh, always.
If you Googled it.
Oh, skip ad. Oh, my gosh. This is really what they're going to do?
Yeah, this is what they're going to do.
I wonder how long ago they made this.
Good question.
We might need to update that. I don't know.
I mean, this seems like a song that would play on a movie soundtrack as everything's happening in slow motion.
Yeah. The asteroid's about to hit.
Things are exploding and glass is blowing out.
On slow motion. Yeah.
People flying.
I wish you guys could see Goose right now. He's like doing the motions and everything. Arms are moving in slow motion.
Someone runs by the screen in slow-mo on fire. Yeah!
Oh, my gosh.
All right, moving along. Let's see what else we got here. The California Institute of Technology, Caltech, their baseball team once had a decade-long 228-game losing streak lasting from 2003 to 2013.
Well, you got a bunch of Sheldon Coopers there.
Right.
That's where Sheldon Cooper went.
And in 2011, Caltech's men's basketball team ended a 310-game conference losing streak.
Why do they play? Why do they even play?
I don't know. I mean, obviously, athletics isn't top priority at Caltech. And finally, lobsters. If you go to a store, get yourself a lobster tail, you're going to be spending a little bit of money.
Love them.
However, lobster wasn't always considered a delicacy. In fact, before the 1800s, lobsters were called the cockroaches of the sea.
Yes.
And they fed them to prisoners to save money. What?
My gosh.
So I want to know the turning point when all of a sudden it's like, oh, no, lobsters are expensive. I mean, are they more rare now? I can't imagine. So just know, when you go to the restaurant and you want that nice lobster tail sitting on your plate, doused in butter.
They breed a lot.
Cockroaches of the sea. I mean, I get it. Lobster, crab, I love crab legs. We were just talking about crab legs. But lobster and crab leg, all it is just a vessel to get more butter in your mouth. That's all it is. That's all it is. Just I want melted. You can't. It looks weird if you drink butter. If you drink melted butter, someone will consider you crazy.
Yeah.
However, if you take a little bit of chunk seafood meat,
right,
and dip your fingers in the melted hot butter, perfectly acceptable.
You can leave the lobster in the butter. Just lick it off your finger.
Lick it off your. There's a vessel to get the butter in the mouth. 99.7 The Blitz.